Hi, I'm Angela and I have a company called Tail Tapping Antics which provides dog training services. I also run a separate qualified accredited OCN course in dog bite prevention and handling skills for pet professionals, but I've also had pet dog owners on these courses too. The reason for this video today is something I've been procrastinating about and putting off for a long time, and it's about time I got my butt into gear. So let's explain about what I'm going to be talking about. And basically it's a little bit about training methods on dogs and being kind and fair to dogs, and also kind of a bit of education, the old methods that still seems to be coming up in reoccurrence. So what happened was last year, or it might have been early this year, there was a dog trainer in this country that posted a video of how to train a dog using a prong collar. And I watched it and I was devastated that kind of this old-fashioned advice is still being given. However, the method does work, but I do not agree with it at all. No, not whatsoever. I'm going to explain to you why now. So, I've not bought this. I've been loaned it under a secret squirrel arrangement. And here is what we call a prong collar. I've weighed this just before I started the video and it's half a kilogram, so it's quite a heavy chain. And basically, it's kind of similar to a half check. So this would be on the dog's neck. Can you see all those prongs? What happens is when the dog pulls, the prongs go into the neck and cause pain and injury. Very similar to a choke chain, because you're going to damage the trachea. And I have been teaching dogs and owners, it's more the owners than the dogs, for around 10 years now. And I remember on my first set of pet dog training classes when I had a lady on there with a whippet who freely admitted to the group of pet owners I was training at the time that she damaged her first dog's neck, a whippet, by using the choke chain and yanking on it, and it had permanent damage and struggled to swallow and whatnot and eat, and she was deeply upset by this. So all I can do is show you kind of what it does, and I like I said, I don't agree with it. I mean, look at it, it just looks like a medieval contraption. It should be in a museum, this exhibit. But unfortunately, people still do train with these, especially America, but still over here, people are buying them. Why are you buying them? There are better quality products on the market. You've got Halties, you've got other canny collar, you've got so many different products that you can use that if your dog pulls, even if you need to use a product or you can't have the time for the training, just putting the training effort in, whether your dog's a puppy, whether your dog's 10 years old, a dog is never too old to learn something new, and that includes you as the owner. So I've been trying to think of like how this could be reused as a really should go in the bin, but just to explain a bit about methods of training. So operant conditioning, which most dog trainers will know about. It's done by B.S. Skinner, which is one of probably the first units we covered when I did my degree in dog training at Bishop Burton. So I would class this method as positive punishment. So I'm just going to show you the little quadrant here. And I've done a bit of the post-it notes. Can you see? Can you see? It's not the best. It's not the best. So basically we've got a type of trainer that says they are positive. Now this is another thing that gets my gripe, because there's positive training. And what is positive training? Because this method is classed as a positive punishment. So people get confused and think positive, oh it must be great, it's great. No, it's not. Positive just means, under B.S. Skinner's training method, that you're adding something that's going to hurt or punish the dog in some way by creating discomfort and pain, and that is what this does. So just because it's positive doesn't mean that it's actually great. And that's where a lot of people think, oh, we're doing positive training. It cannot be, because positive punishment is where you add something to punish the dog, and that generally involves pain. Or if it's on a choke chain, it's being yanked around, and especially with this prong collar, because it's not nice. And if I see my doggies as my babies, just like I see my children, they are my babies, and there's no way that I would put that on my dogs, let alone my children. I mean, just a horrible method. Now, there is another method which mustn't be confused with positive punishment, and this is positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement is where you add something that's of value, whether it's to a dog, a person, whatever that dog values, that's what the method you should be training with. And they generally involve, don't necessarily have to be food, but there's lots of different methods out there. So if we were looking at the food method, high value treats such as cheese, chicken, beef, ham, garlic sausage, anything that's really smelly, tasty, high value, and tends to be cheaper than the commercial treats. They are your best things to train your dogs, and they are going to get them walking nicely to heel without you yanking them, pulling your arm off, getting annoyed with the dog getting annoyed with you because it's not quite sure what it's meant to be doing. There are better ways to train your dog, please believe me. If you are struggling and you have one of these, and nobody's here to judge you at all, because we understand that old-fashioned methods get told round time and time again, or even if it's a choke chain, there are lots of amazing trainers in this country, amazing trainers that will help you with positive reinforcement and show you the ways of getting a better bond with your dog, creating a long-lasting method, and just generally enjoying your dog without getting your arm pulled off, and your dog understanding where it's meant to be on the lead in a nice, comfortable manner. So I hope my little video helped, and you know, if you're wanting a recommendation for trainers across the country, there's plenty of different bodies out there. I'm part of the APDT. There's also lots of other training establishments. The best advice I can give you is follow your gut, go to one. Most dog trainers don't mind. I don't think I've met anybody that's not been happy about someone sitting in the class. In fact, I recommend people come and sit in my classes. If they're going to commit to my classes, I want them to come along and, you know, value me as a trainer, and the relationship is going to work between both of us. But definitely go and check the methods out. You know, they shouldn't be shouting at the dogs, they should be forcing the dogs into a position. The dogs should feel comfortable and free to learn, just like you should feel the same. And there are lots of amazing trainers. You're more than welcome to message me, tell me your area, and if you're really struggling, I can, you know, hunt out some of the trainers in your area that would be brilliant. So please, if you have these, make sure they just get smashed up, put in the bin. These, I can't even find, I've been trying to find the use around the house for them. I just can't. I mean, it just wouldn't even pierce a potato for making a jacket spud, but there is no real use for these. They just need to go in the trash can.